Good morning. Firstly, I'm completely impressed. With 9 o'clock, the house is full. Not because of rains. Because 9 o'clock, the desire to know, learn, adapt, change what's happening in this field of investment. And this is really amazing because I spent 30 plus years in corporate life. 9 o'clock, I was not very sure whether I would be the one, Prem and Anita and Nishan, and maybe because we are a title sponsor, ASK team will be there. Congratulations, great, thank you very much for dropping very early in the morning. That shows, and you know, Anita and Prem and Nishan are very smart people. This change, what I'm going to talk about, they spotted long time back, my friends. 2010, this man thought that financialization of savings is going to happen. He started Cafe Mutual. In 2019, he was much ahead of time. Again, he thought it is not one single product, one single platform, but variety of asset allocations. Because the customers are changing, investors are changing, their wealth is changing, their risk appetite is changing. 2019, he got CafeAlt. That's amazing. So there is someone in the room thinking on our behalf. It's time for us, fund managers, distribution partners, wealth managers, everybody in this room, whoever your capacity is, I think we need to start thinking of something which is happening, which is a big moment. And the big moment is not AI alone. The big moment in the industry is, the good news is, we all are changing. The customers are changing. Their wealth is changing. Their preferences are changing. And what got us here will not get us there for sure. So one may be very successful, a particular portfolio manager, one may be very successful mutual fund, one may be very successful real estate fund. Alone that is not sufficient because customers are looking at you holistically to trust you to allocate the capital and get him the best fund managers and the best allocation of his assets to a best asset managers so that he generates the risk adjusted returns. And it's so simple, it's so straight. It is, those days are over where you will go and sell one mutual fund and come back. Trust me. So a point of time it was very important and all of you have done an extraordinary job in actually accelerating the financialization of savings and use of technology, digitization, nook and corner of this country, and got a terrific pride to this country to have an $850 million mutual fund industry. No doubt, the time has changed. You are no more going to be distributing a particular product of a particular mutual fund or a B particular mutual fund. Your clients are asking you holistic solution. He is not going to trust A person for a mutual fund, B person for real estate fund, C person for a credit fund, D person for a alternate hedge funds, and then he is not going to depend on A, B, C, D, E, F, G saying, oh, you are my wealth manager. These are the titles created by us, by the industry for our convenience. Nobody in this room is MFD, nobody in this room is only selling a particular product, is my sense. This decade is a decade of alternatives, this is a decade of mutual fund, this is a decade of hedge funds, this is a decade of wealth management. What does that mean? To me, it's so simple that today, if you want to remain relevant to your customer, in your micro market, in your city, you have to give him what is his need is, what is his risk profile is, and that means sometimes mutual fund, sometimes PMSs, sometimes alt AIFs, sometimes credit funds, sometimes real estate funds, sometimes hedge funds, long short funds, and that's where you are no more going to be, I'm sorry to use this word, your forehead is not going to be the word called MFD. You are going to be wealth manager in your own sphere. Everybody is managing wealth. That's the truth. Customers are not looking at you as a transactor. because you are building relationships. Relationship cannot be built by doing transaction. Sometimes transaction give you some commission here and there is all fine, but that's not true. The truth is customer should make money. He should get best of the best manager, best of the best asset class, and holistically he generates. And not all are ready. Not all customers are ready. Let's be very clear. Because the pyramid is changing. The middle and the top of the pyramid is moving much faster. But still, we have miles to go. Miles to go. And hence, holistic financial planning, holistic financial advice, and holistic wealth management of that 100 rupees, what the customer is willing to put on the table, it is the responsibility of all of us in this room, including us who participate through asset management and wealth management also. So I thought with that note, because we need to think little wider for the decade and not myopic. Because this whole narrow definition of a product seller is not going to work. You have to holistically start understanding the customers well, their needs well, their risk well, their time horizon well. And if they are having, frankly, a typical, I'm not good in Hindi, but unoptional returns, that 40% returns from the market, the days are over. That's not going to be true. Some year, some quarters, these things are possible, these are not real. We need to get our customers real. We need to, we don't have to hesitate to bail the cat saying, this is the situation at this point. And I am only saying this, being even a fund manager ourselves. So the fact of the matter is here, we will go long and the magic of compounding will play a predominant role for all of us when we allocate assets to different asset managers. So let's see what it is going to lead to. Hopefully this is, yeah. So I'm going to just show a few numbers here and there because I have been told very watertight pipeline. You have only 15 minutes. And my job is here to ensure that each one of you get the message right, that you are not a distributor of a particular product. You are a holistic financial advisor, planner, wealth manager, whoever you are. If it hits you, think on it. And hence, that's why there was no asset classes and there were no asset managers available. There were no products available. There was no technology available to get them on board. Today, everything is available, and I'm going to just tell you the size what this industry has actually. Look at the past. 10 years back, 2015, just before the demonetization, the portfolio management industry has actually grown 20% CAGR, 6x. Same number, mutual fund industry has also grown at 20x, 6x. And obviously the AI was a new excitement because the middle and the top of the pyramid actually grabbed that first. And that's where you see the 60x, almost grown 51 times CAGR. These are real numbers. Data do not lie. When we have a conflict, data can solve our conflict. And this is the data. This is the actual data, which is source is SEBI and AMFI. So what does this tell you? That the gears are changing much faster than what we anticipated. Look at that was 10 years. Look at last 5 years. I think more important because we have to always have, so I always believe that all of us, in a way, are entrepreneur in our own stride. And if you are an entrepreneur in your own stride, whoever you are, whether you are working, whether you are your own enterprise, you always carry 3 scopes, am I right? The first is the telescope, which gives you long-term vision. You see the blue sky and the stars. Second is the microscope, because you have to also worry about what's happening in the near term, am I right? And the most important, which many of us at times forget, is the stethoscope, your financial health. So you need all the 3 scopes together: telescope, microscope, and stethoscope. I have shown you the telescope, and this is the microscope part. Last 5 years, this industry, look at the discretionary portfolio managers. You'll be surprised to see that at ASK, and I'm not here marketing ASK, but ASK, our belief in the high conviction portfolio management business, which is a discretionary basis, actually our license is 30 plus years back, 1994. Until 2010, you would find There are few names like ASK, like Inam, Motilal, Alchemy, and maybe a few here and there, Unifi. These are the only names you hear. Today you will be surprised. How many members we have in APME, Association of Portfolio Managers of India? 400. 400 members. I am one of the board member of APME. I'm telling you the kind of excitement happening on specialized, high conviction, concentrated. They are very different than probably what one would have got exposed to yet. You need customer of that risk profile. You need customer of that financial status where you would like to offer these diversification products. So diversification is the key theme which is running across this decade and which is going to be much more visible for investors. Look at the AIF commitment. AIF has gone completely bonkers. And category 2 AIFs are basically the AIFs which are the private equity, unlisted space, the PE, the real estate, debt funds, venture capital funds, and so on and so forth. And that space is going to be very, very important. AIFs are strategically important for the country. If the economy has to be doubling in the next 7-8 years' time, my friends, if there are no AIFs, the banks and the NBFCs are not really helping the growth. They are not putting the risk capital on the table. They are quite right in that sense because they are not designed to do that. And that's why the AIFs are doing so well. Mutual fund industry is bound to go. We are too small. A lot of people think, oh, ASK is going to be 51st mutual fund. What are you going to do? I said, US has got a population of 300 million, 30 crore, give and take. India's population is 140 crore. Correct, give and take. And India has got 50 plus mutual fund. How much US has got? 7,200. 7,200 mutual fund in US. How much is the total assets under management? 25 trillion US dollar. How much in India we have? 850 million dollars. Where are we? We have just scratched the surface. So I don't think there is no space. There is always a space when the competition comes in, market expands. That's where penetration and activation happens. So all the new Ps who are going to be people like us going to be entering the mutual fund also going to be finding our own space in that way. So mutual funds are going to be here to stay. And what we expect and what we think, the crystal report or whatever you can talk about, this is the change, and you would like to see whether you would like to be part of the change. It's a question, it's a choice. So part of the change is that it is going into asset allocation, it is going into diversification, it is going into more a holistic wealth planning, wealth advice and wealth management by finding the right asset class and right asset manager. I know the bell has already rung. Thank you very much for these 15 minutes of my